Hey gang, how's it going? My name is Lady. If you're new here to this channel, welcome. Today I decided I'm going to dye my hair again. I dyed my hair June 21st, so it's been exactly a month and a day. Today is July 22nd. I don't know when this will be posted, but I want to let you guys know that it's been a few weeks since I last dyed my hair. I dyed my hair with the dollar store red hair dye last time, and today I'm going back to an all favorite of mine, and that is Varia Power Copper. I've already done 2 videos of this already, so I'm not going to do another instructional video as to how to dye my hair with this. And I mentioned on Facebook today that I wasn't going to record this because I've already done 2 of them, and I didn't find a red dye that I really wanted to use today. I've noticed that my hair looks not as bright as I usually like it, but it has been requested that I film this anyway. And so instead of me doing an instructional video, I thought I would just kind of talk with you guys, tell you what's going on around here, maybe share stories or something like that. So if you want to keep watching me dye my hair, continue watching. By the way, it is so late. It's been a long day. Like, my makeup is just falling off my face and my contacts are drying out. I think I'm just gonna take out, I'm gonna take out my contacts. I'm just gonna do it without today. You know how you take out your contacts and like your eyeballs breathe? They're like, oh. So we'll get started with my hair dye. I don't really know what to talk to you guys about. Like, I thought of like a couple things. I thought about just updating you guys on how I'm doing. I haven't really talked about how I'm doing. They're giving me the cruddy gloves. I might switch these out for the other gloves. I don't like these like basic gloves. I don't know. Maybe I've become a snob. I think I've just become a big glove snob, and I just prefer the latex gloves. So this is just probably the longest intro ever. You'll find, like, listening to this, that I talk and I'm kind of all over the place, and because of that I apologize. So this is why I do like so much editing, and this is why I do voiceovers, because a lot of stuff I just have to like edit out because I figure you guys are too bored to listen to me just chat. Alright, so let's see here. If I can remember correctly, we put the color booster, this scent stuff, all together in with this, with the developer. And then I believe this is the shampoo that you use afterwards, and then we will use the conditioner afterwards, after I have dyed my hair. And I believe it is what? How long? So where's the preparation? All over color, it's 25 minutes. So just like in the video, putting the, ooh, this stuff smells horrendous. That's why they give you the, you know, the scented stuff, because the aromatic shimmer serum, because this stuff just smells. Scented stuff in to make it smell better. We'll see if it really does though. Yeah, it does. It still burns the hair in your nostrils because I'm not being smart at this moment. And then the color booster. You guys, I'm serious. The first time I did this, I got color booster like on my counter, and it's like legit water. It's like pure dye. It's like very, very pigmented, obviously. You probably can't see. I got a drop on my hand, and I'm trying to like rub it out, and it's not going anywhere. I'll just tell you what I do. I put this all on my roots, and then I pull it down towards my ends. I don't dye all the way to my ends. I leave my ends this color. I kind of wish that I had bought a dye so I could brighten my ends a little bit. But because I kind of just decided on a whim that I was going to dye my hair today, I can't do that. I twist off the cap, I have my gloves on, and then we will start. And I forgot that I do not have my contacts in, and I'm hoping that I will get all of my hair dyed. Oh my gosh, that burned my eyes. It's pretty potent. I'm glad I took my contacts out though too. So I wanted to let you guys know kind of like what I'm doing or how I'm doing these days. I have been doing like really, really great lately and really happy. And that's not something that I could have said for the past many years. I can't really recall the last time I could say that I was doing great. I think, you know, I would say probably around the time I got married, I could say that I was doing really, really great. It's interesting, I had a friend whom I haven't talked to in a while message me several weeks ago, and she was like, hey, how are you? How you doing? And I was like, I'm great. I'm really great. You know, and it's funny that I like, you know, I'll say that to people, oh, I'm doing good, you know, how are you? And it's like, not 100% true. I mean, it's like I'm good considering I could be worse kind of a thing. You know, and I've thought about this and I've realized that I've had to like work towards feeling this great. And I don't know if like I really have any secrets to give because I don't know if it's so much a secret that has me feeling this great, but I will tell you what I've done and what I've been up to feel this way, and maybe that can help you guys. For the past several years, and you know, I look back not really knowing the journey I was leading. Several years ago, I realized that while I was having a good life, I didn't feel like I could have been like happy to the fullest, if that makes sense. Like, I understand that I have many things that people wish they could have. I understand that I have a great family and I have a great support system and I have great friends and I have many great things in my life. I have great kids, I have a great husband, that like a lot of things that many people, you know, would want or they don't have. And I just was really frustrated that I wasn't like completely happy in that, and I wanted to be happy in that. So I went on this like quest to be happy. I didn't want to sit here and go, well, you know, things are good, I'm living a good life, so it would be, what is the word I'm thinking? Selfish to want to be more happy. You know, and at times I thought that. I thought, well, I'm being blessed with these good things, you know, I'm being selfish by wanting more. So it was really this balance for me to like really figure out the difference between, so strong, between being truly like happy and being selfish and just wanting to like, you know, take what was given to me and demanding more, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've really like shellacked the back of my head with hair dye when I should have probably done more up here. Let me check the time. I should have had this already. Okay, so 25 minutes from now. Like, I'm always happy, like, don't get me wrong, but you know how like we go through life with contentment, you know, like things are good, things are great, it could be worse, so I'm happy with where we're at. That's kind of how I was. I wasn't at all sad, I was just content. And I really wanted to like be happy. You know, I watch people on TV, I watch people on YouTube, and they're like, you can see that true happiness and that thrill that life is, and yet I'm like, oh, maybe that's just not my personality. My personality isn't to be so open and happy, you know, maybe that's my flaw, and that's why I'm not like super happy. And then I'm like, well, that's silly. Happiness, no matter what degree, should be the same for everyone, right? Shouldn't it? So I just kind of went with that, with just wanting to live life to the fullest and be happy. And I am still in that journey to living life to the fullest and being the happiest. But I have found, and it's taken years, so my little secrets, I guess you could say, which aren't secrets because I'll be sharing them with you, they never were secrets, is know when to say no. I was always a yes girl, and I've kind of always been a yes girl. People will say things like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do all these things, and I'll be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Even when like my gut would be like, nah, you know you're gonna be, like, it's gonna be overkill for you to do that. You know you'd be overcommitting yourself if you were to do that. You know it would be too much for you, you know that, and yet I would still do it. And that's like a little taste of the person that I was, and at times still am. And, you know, just the whole yes, yes. I became, as my friend would say about herself, which I've adopted the phrase, a doormat for people. And I felt that was like the perfect analogy as to how I felt. I was unintentionally allowing them to walk all over me, and that I know that wasn't their intention either. I understand that for the most part people are good, and they don't try to trample all over you, and they don't try to take that inch you're giving them and then want a mile. I have found most happiness in life giving people the benefit of the doubt until I have given enough benefits of the doubt and then have let them go. Saying no is excruciatingly painful for someone like me who, one, hates confrontation. Don't like it at all. I just don't. I'm working on it though. So saying no is hard, but it leaves me with most relief and most happiness. At the same time too, I must weigh options. You know, if I have a friend who's in need and I'm doing okay, I think it's okay for me to say yes and help him or her out. Another thing is priorities. I've mentioned this in a past video a year and a half ago. Priorities. Definitely priorities. If you have your priorities set, you know your priorities, like you know what's best for you. So set your priorities and leave them as that. Because if you allow what's on the bottom of your priority triangle to try to jam itself up at the top, you're going to get upset. The person or the things that are jamming themselves up in there, it's just not going to work. So it's going to end up being this chaos that's going to happen. And we don't want that to happen. We want happiness, right? So we want cohesiveness. And so to have something that's completely low on the totem pole try to fit itself up into your priority way up high, that's when you need to say your no's, and that's when you need to, which is the next step, is to lay out your boundaries. Knowing where there is a line, like certain things that you know are not okay, and they try to push it and they try to help you justify it or whatever, for whatever reason, and yet you still feel that knot within your stomach that says, don't do it. Don't let people or things come within your boundaries. Like, know your boundaries, know your safe place. I used to always think that, like, doing certain things for certain people would make, like, God happy and Christ happy, and then I would realize that it would be hurting myself and, like, tampering, like, my own spirit for them. And I sit back and I think, who am I really helping if I am losing my happiness, like true happiness, burning it up on allowing someone to overstep their boundaries and again make me a doormat? You know, I've found too that, and I believe I mentioned this in my priorities video, that when I am not okay, the worlds of those who need me, like my husband and my kids, if I'm not okay, they are not okay. And so sometimes I do have to put myself first to make sure I'm okay so that I can be okay for those most important. So when people try to overstep the boundaries and try to destroy my world, you know, my bubble, and then it is detrimental to the worlds of those around me, because then I am drained, I am sad, I am oversleeping, I'm overeating, I am lazy, I'm just not any good to those around me. Then my priorities get mixed up. Then I'm off kilter. I am, you know, just all those things. I'm trying to think of some of the other things. Another thing that I found is just knowing, like, your your truth, like knowing what is true to me, like what feels right within me. And I understand that like what might feel right within me might not feel right within someone else. And it doesn't mean that I'm wrong or they're wrong. And that was a hard pill to swallow, was that I might believe some things is true and somebody might believe that I'm wrong, and having to sit there and battle going, well, who is really true here? Who's really got the truth? And having to just say, you know, maybe both are true. Or maybe I'm the one who doesn't really know the truth, but I'll eventually get there. Like I've realized too that life is not a race. I kept thinking in years past that I already need to have it all together. You know, it's like I'm married and I'm a mom and I should just have it all together. And I realized you have to work towards having it all together. I couldn't just wake up one day and be like, and wow, look, it's all together, my life. Doesn't work that way. So you have to build up to that. And I realized that I may be 85 years old before I have it all together, and I'm okay with that because I'm working towards it. Another thing that, these are all like, there's lots of things, and so I'm like just going through my past and in the past 5 some odd years that the truths that I've had to grab. And my friend has told this to me, and I remember her telling it to me several summers ago, and it's like since been like a truth. This is a truth for me. It might not be a truth to someone else. And that is the simple word of try. I have found that if we're trying, like trying, that's it, to be a better person. If we are trying, like taking a step forward, then it's better than sitting where we're at and just accepting what is or what may be. Like, if we're pressing forward, it doesn't matter how much life will come stumbling at us, because we're still going forward. It might push us back a little bit, but we're still going forward. We're no good if we're just standing here and then life's pushing us backwards. Like, how good are we when we're regressing? I would rather be standing in place, walking forward while life is hitting me, than just standing still and having life just push me back. And doing what I feel is best. Like for me, for my family, for my friends who are in need, like, you know what I mean? Then I am improving. What else? You know, I was with my friend the other night and we were just talking about like just catching up. She had been out of town on and off for several months. We finally like sat down and talked, and she was talking about how she realized, it was interesting how she put it. She says, I realized that I have a plate of things that I can do in my life. And she says, my plate is only so big. And she said, sometimes I can fit in that little thing in my plate. I can fit in something that's asked of me. I can fit in that friend that needs me. I can fit in that family member that I need to visit. I can fit in only so much on this plate. And then she said, everything else is just fluff, is just cut off. I can't do it. And I understand, it's funny the way she did the size of her plate. You know, like a dinner plate's like, what, this big? But this is like a small dinner plate is what she had. And I loved how she didn't say, I have a plate this big and it's full of all this stuff. She said, this is how big my plate is. And considering how she's recovering from many things that she's discussed with me, I understand what she means by having a small plate. But what I appreciate is the fact that she knows the size of this plate, and she knows what has happened to her in the past when she's tried to fit more things on top of this plate when she didn't really have the room for it. So the thing that I'm trying to say is your plate might be this big or it might be this big, but that's okay. Like, embrace what size plate that is and put on what you need to help keep things happy for you and easy for you. And then as you grow and as you keep trying, then you can expand that plate and get a bigger plate. One of the very first things I learned that I will take as, let me see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, I got like 5 minutes, that I will like take as truth. Like, this was like the first thing I learned is like a gospel truth. Is this book that my friend gave me, and it's called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And I read it, and it was so eye-opening. And in that book, it talked about how we must embrace every aspect of who we are. So many times we try to put that best foot forward, and we try to put on this happy face, and we try to pretend like we are the kindest, greatest, most wonderful person, when in reality we're really trying to hide that dark side of us. Even like those minute little things that like we might not like about ourselves. We try so hard like stuffing that away because we don't want people to see it, because it's embarrassing, because heaven forbid it get out into the open. Even those little things that we spend all that energy snuffing it, that what happens is it like comes out in other ways. Like, we end up attracting those kind of people in our lives. Like, for instance, if I am one who tends to get angry really quick, like if I flip a switch real quick and I try to hide that, it like all that energy I'm putting towards the fact that I get angry really, really quickly, I end up attracting those into my life who are like that. It's a very interesting read. Again, this is a truth for me. It might not be a truth for you, and that is okay. But this is just something that I found for myself. And once I decided to like put all out on the table, every aspect about me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I have found like I don't carry around so much weight. Like, I know the worst of me. And I have found that since embracing that, I've been able to let it go, just as the book talks about. When you embrace the worst parts of you, you realize, oh, it's not as big as I think it is, and you let it go. You know, the secrets we kind of harbor and we hold within, and then we kind of go back to it a lot. This way you embrace it, you let it go, and you're less likely to go back to it, so therefore you're more apt to be able to embrace all the good that you are, and to be able to actually put that best foot forward and not have something really holding you back inside. I love that book. Like, it's funny, like, we have scriptures, right? And I think about that book all the time and how much that is like scripture to me, because it spoke so much truth within me and really was the ball that started the rolling of this change within me to find this happiness. So I'm gonna kind of close at that. So that is like why when my friend texted me and she said, haven't talked to you in a long time, like, how are you doing? And I wrote back going, I am great. It was interesting going, I really am. I'm doing great. I feel really good. And I thought I would share that with you guys. So thanks for letting me just kind of chat away as I'm letting my hair marinate in this dye. And I hope you guys are doing great. And just remember, you can be happy. And I can say that because I have been down the deepest, darkest abyss you can even imagine. I have been there. I have done that. I know how that feels. And this is coming from a person who understands that. And I want you to know you can have that. You can have happiness. And so that is it. Maybe tomorrow, I guess, I'll take some pictures of my hair, or maybe do some video of my hair so you guys can see how it looks done. But I'm going to go wash this out because I have 2 more minutes left to let my hair dye. So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other thoughts as to what has made you happy, or what has helped you grow as a person, let me know down below. I would love to share these things, because I think it's great that we all know these different ways to find betterment and to find happiness and to find peace and comfort and joy in our lives. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the flip. Bye, guys.